This is Ryan Cassata, and I'm here with special guest Charles Asher.
Hello.
He was the original trans YouTuber from the start. So
I guess so, the OG.
He's the OG. Hell yeah. Today we want to talk about when do you tell the person you're dating that you're trans and what's in your pants.
Yeah. And that's interesting you broke it down that way because we were talking earlier when we were going to do this video and about disclosure. And for me, it's not so much disclosing that I'm trans to the person, it's what I got going on.
Yeah.
Because most people in my life know, but they assume certain things and yeah, when do you tell them?
Yeah, for me, most people, when I start dating them, they know I'm trans right from the start.
Right.
So it's just obviously, okay, I'm trans, like either it's like on whatever dating site I'm on, it says FTM.
So you're
trans.
open about that on like the website.
Yeah, I just stay open about it. A lot of people won't ask, what's in your pants? Have you gotten surgery? What were you born with?
Right.
Were you not? Like,
yeah, no,
what is
do you
going
have
on?
both?
Yeah, so they don't know. I've had people be like, oh, I didn't know until right now in this very moment, which
Really?
is kind of awkward.
Yeah, and you're like,
But they just didn't ask. So,
Right.
but I didn't know to tell them because I thought, oh,
You
if they
assumed
know
they
I'm
were
FTM
right.
and they know I've only gotten top surgery, what would be in my pants? But a lot of
It's
people
logical.
just don't know.
That's true. No, yeah. And a lot of things are asked out of ignorance sometimes.
When do you tell them?
Well, for me, it's really difficult because my personal dysphoria is so hard to navigate. In your online dating, there's two kinds. There's the grinder type and the OkCupid. On OkCupid, I do not out myself as trans. I want someone to look at me and see me. I'm also in the South. This is very different how I go about things. Grinder, Craigslist hookups, very open about what I am and my status because I don't want to go through all the questions. It would trigger me. So that type of thing. So when I disclose, this is what's hard for me. Generally, you know, dating women that know I'm trans, but they don't know what I got going on. It's not always easy for me to own that, you know,
Yeah.
the dysphoria, and it brings so many questions and all the stuff. So with a sexual type hookup, it's just like known. The dating is harder. It's been different for different girls, but I would say about, and they knew I was trans, so I don't feel, I wasn't pulling anything over their eyes. They just weren't sure. They knew it was personally whatever. I'd say within, I want to say 2 to 4 weeks within the 3 long-term relationships I've been in, 3 weeks on average, where we're getting sexual but not totally, and they might be kind of confused. They don't know. It's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for them. But I haven't had to do that because I've been dating 1 in 4 years. I feel now I would be a little more like, I'm more confident in who I am, and I can be like, hey, this is what I got going on, but yeah.
Do you think the tension like builds up to tell them like, oh man, I really want to tell them now?
Yeah,
Or
and I think I built it up
as
in my
time
head that
goes
it's going
by?
to be so much worse, and no one's ever reacted weirdly, and I build it up. Yeah,
no
there's
one's
tension,
really
and then it's like
weird
this
to me either.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
really, like, honestly, it's more, I think, internalized transphobia on my part that this person that's cisgender is gonna judge me for what. No.
No, it doesn't really matter.
No. Yeah, and people have been way more cool than I ever
Yeah.
expected. Yeah. What about you? Like, when do you, because, you know, for me it's different. We were talking about how, like, because I look this way, women assume things about me. Like, my queerness is not necessarily visible. When do you tell, you know, women about, or anyone you're sleeping with about, or dating about your situation?
Yeah, I tell them right from the start. If they ask, I tell them. I don't say like, oh, wait to find out or something.
Oh yeah, no.
But,
If someone asked me directly, I would.
Yeah, I think it's safer to tell them before, because like, what if they're like super transphobic and you don't like,
For
you
your
don't know,
safety.
and then they didn't know you're trans, then it's like, oh my god. I always want to date someone that knows I'm trans and they're very okay with trans people. Yeah.
I think for like MDFs, I lived with an MDF in San Francisco, and she had some, you know, she passed pretty well, but then she would tell like last minute, and that resulted in some scary incidences, and that's the kind of thing I think people, they feel like the wool has been pulled over their eyes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
because
not
it can be very shocking.
shocking. Yeah, and they're not
what your brain doesn't expect or something.
Yeah, so
which is ignorance.
it is ignorance, but you know, you do make a good point. We have to look out for ourselves and safety, and sometimes it is like, ugh, to go over the do you have a whatever, but obviously if you're gonna sleep with someone, you gotta kind of answer these questions. So
yeah, you're bound to find out.
right, well that's when people ask me things about in general trans, like what don't ask, I'm like, don't ask me the status of my genitals, don't ask me my old name. Except if you're in a situation where you might be sexual with a trans person, then it's fine to ask because you gotta know what you're working with. But I would say in general, the cisgender people, if you're not gonna have any kind of, don't, because it's triggering for us, and, you know.
Yeah, well, we're gonna make some more videos, so watch
tuned.
out for them and subscribe to Charles's channel and see a video on his. And yeah. Cool.
And buy all of his music, okay? We gotta plug each
Thank you.
other, even though it's your channel. Okay.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Peace.